What is up, everybody? We are finally here, the one you've been waiting for. This is episode 3 of the POW podcast. This is the 1 year anniversary show. Before we get into it, I just got to apologize to everybody. I'm sorry that I have let you down. No Massacre and Metal this past Saturday. I'm so sorry. Vendetta episode 6 will get out. There's some things that have been going on in my personal life. I've been very busy. On top of that, PlayStation's new update fucked everything over. And not to mention, I fucking hate 2K. 2K sucks. But you know what? I put out the shows because it's fun to do with my friends. It's been a fun venture from the get-go. I really enjoy the interaction. The interactions between everybody and myself within POW. It's so fun. It's fun to me. I love you all. But this is the big one. This is the 1 year anniversary show of POW, and I just want to thank you all. I want to say thank you to everybody for joining us, everybody for subscribing, everybody for supporting us. I didn't know if we'd make it this far. I don't know if we'll make it to 2 years. We're playing it by ear, and I just want to thank you. I want to thank you all for this experience, and it's going to be a really good podcast. It's going to be really deep. There's not going to be a lot of pictures. I don't feel like doing that shit. I just want to give you guys the raw, uncut, unfiltered podcast. Not live. It's pretty uncensored, though. I hope you enjoy it. There's a lot of big shit in here, a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, some big announcements. And overall, we're just goofing around, being dickheads. I know we're going to get heat for this one. I don't give a shit. This is not real life to me. This is just fun. This is bullshit. I talk a lot of shit and I can back it up. Also, make sure you go and check out OT3's Halloween special coming out next weekend on Halloween. OT3's Halloween special. That's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. Those boys are always putting in the work. Go out and support them. Link to their channel will be in the description. Go out there and support OT3, baby. Come on in. Thank you all, though. Thank you all for being here with POW from the beginning. Happy 1 year anniversary. Let's get into the show.
All right, well, let's get this thing started. Welcome, everyone. We're so excited for the 1 year anniversary podcast of POW. A year ago today, we made this happen, and if you guys remember, I think, October 21st, wasn't it like some other company's like big show or some shit? I don't fucking know. Because didn't let's see, Wolfe quit, and then Drascal quit like 2 weeks after that. Chris quit on the same day. Yep.
I quit on the same day as the show. Let's start there.
Yeah, so did Wolfe.
Same.
Wolfe was in the fucking main event. He was in the fucking title match in the main event, and he quit. Yo.
I told him, I said, hey, this, if I don't win, this is my retirement match, and not even a couple 24 hours after, I pulled a fucking Rick Rude, and I appeared in WCW and shit, wrestling.
No man, he turned into Eddie Guerrero talking about I lied.
Yeah, well, of course we're talking about we're talking about Ultimate Showdown 5, that little bullshit show that I wrote. 5, 6, 7, what is it? 2, 3? It doesn't matter, but when we first started this, let's go through the history of everything. So,
damn, you're not gonna announce who we all are?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Well, I'm SYM.
Fucking skipped the whole last intro.
I'm sorry. This is. Look, I'm sorry. I got a little excited there. Look, all right. So this is SYM here, and I'm joined with
the Jericho of the podcast.
Over the whole ass podcast, huh?
Hold up, man. Look, you wanted the fucking introduction. I'm trying to give you the introduction. Drascal's over here. They're fucking it up. Drascal's over here rustling papers in our ears again. Just fucking it up.
Hey, bitch, that ain't me. I swear.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Well, look, all right. Look, I'm SYM. I'm joined with Chris Morales. Go ahead and say something, Chris.
Hey, yo. What's up?
Okay, all right. That was cute. I'm joined by Drascal. Go ahead and say something, Drascal.
We all about to say the same shit. Hey, yo, what's up?
And last but not least, shut the fuck up, Drascal. All right. Last but not least, joined by Chaz the Spouse.
There it is. There it is.
Hey, kick your feet
That's
up,
it.
get cozy, get your blanket, pop your tabs, get your drinks ready. We're about to get fucking crazy.
It's showtime.
Oh, it's showtime!
And here we go.
All right, so let's get into it. All right, so POW. POW started on SVR 11, right? POW started in SVR 11. It was a show I ran after my very first show that I started on WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2010. So I quit making that show, and I was like, I kind of want to do a different kind of style. So I made Power of Wrestling back in SVR 11, all right? Oh, I hear Ivory in the background and shit. That's pretty cool. Fast forward to last year, we all left JTV. It started with me and Chris. Chris and I pitched him the idea of starting our own promotion. And from my recollection, you got really excited, Chris. Is that correct?
I did because I was, to be completely blunt and honest, I was tired of the bullshit. I was tired of the little politicking, all the dick sucking that was going on. And yes, I said dick sucking because that's pretty much what was going on in that company. That's the real here. Anyways, and I was like, me and you had gotten close as friends, really quick. And I was like, yo, this is a great opportunity because you and me, we think so much alike in so many ways. I knew we could make something special.
Right.
We just had to get these other two Marons on board.
Absolutely. And I approached Wolfe because the night before I was let go from writing JTV, here's a funny, interesting thing. I was writing their storylines there. I was writing their big shows. I wrote their biggest show of the year. And he was, he let me go one day for some personal shit. And I was like, look, don't use my storylines. So I hadn't
Not
heard
even
anything.
that, like he just released you because of nothing, to my knowledge.
Dude, yeah.
You were
and the
just
fact
there
is-
and gone one day.
Basically, and what pissed me off and what got me heated in the whole thing, and I'm sorry to cut you off, SYM, is the fact that he was not man enough to, because he had your number. He
Yes.
couldn't call you. He couldn't say, hey, I need you in the party chat. We need to talk. He had to do it over text.
Right.
What a big man you are, huh?
Like some little bitch
Yeah.
shit, right?
You had to send a message over text.
And the thing with that is me and him, we've been friends, like this would have been like the 10-year anniversary of our friendship come December, so we had just came back from vacationing in Vegas with some other friends, right? Like we knew each other. So that's the context of our friendship. It was like a brotherhood of sorts, and you can't message me and call me and be like, hey, I got to talk to you about this. This is what's going on. This is how I'm feeling. He did it over text, and he did it so abruptly, all because I told everybody that he married a man. And it's like, for one, there's a lot of context behind that. It's not even just me saying it. Chris was in that party chat too. It was me and Corey joking around, right? And we started talking about like the mixed tag thing, right? Because 2K20 has mixed tags now. And Trey Jeter, who's like their stooge over there, who's the biggest dick sucker over there. I'll go ahead and say it too, Chris.
Literally the biggest dick sucker.
The biggest, like, dude's fucking the size of a manatee, except for like 3 manatees,
Also, winged soldier.
But he was the biggest one that was kissing ass and lying and trying to get people in trouble, trying to secure a position and trying to secure a spot. We all know him to be a liar. That's true. So he was in the chat with us when we were goofing around, joking about this. I brought up the name of the guy who catfished Jay, and I was like, oh, it's just something between me and Corey. And then it became well, who is this person? And Corey and I both told you guys the story. Now, Chris, am I lying here? You were there in the chat. That's what happened, right?
That verbatim, that is exactly what happened.
I wasn't making fun of him for it. I wasn't making fun of like that at all, right?
No, you were just stating who it was. That was it.
Right. So there you go. The whole lie that he was told was I made fun of him and all this bullshit, whatever. So that is why he messaged me and was like, hey, I don't need you to write the shows anymore. And it's like, you based that off of hearsay, and you didn't come to me and ask me personally as someone who you should trust, as someone who I don't lie. I've never lied about anything. He wants to lie and tell people I had a gun pulled out on me. That's not true. I've never fucking had a gun put in my face or pulled on me in my life, so I don't know where you made that up from,
Did anybody laugh in that party or?
Yeah, yes, people were
Well,
laughing.
that's probably why a motherfucker lied. He said if you tell them that personal shit like that and then somebody laughs, apparently some people think that's making fun of them.
Well, look, I wasn't laughing. Trey, Chris, and Corey were both laughing. I was just stating facts.
I
And
was
that's
laughing
that.
because it's like it blew my mind.
It's so outlandish. That's why you were laughing, right?
Yeah, I was dying
Hey,
because
I mean,
dude, because I'm sorry, like to elaborate on the story a little bit from what SYM has told me, like you said yourself that, but he would always make excuses that this person was, oh, their mic was fucked up and this and that and the third, but yet this person and Lo were never in the party together talking at the same time. So that right there to me raises a red flag if I'm in that position. Okay,
bro.
thank you.
Oh my bad.
Right. No, no, and to steer, because
And
I don't want to make this whole thing about this little stupid situation. So I'm going to steer us back onto it. But to make a long story short, he heard that I was talking shit, which was a lie, and he was like, "All right, you're done." And so I just was like, "All right, that's fine, but don't use my storylines. Don't use them, right?" And so he's like, "All right." Oh, he didn't reply, but. Later, I come to find out from you, Chris, and from you, Wolf, and I think I talked to you too about it, Drascal, that he still was using my shit, right? So there was the first blow of disrespect, and that's when I was like, all right, well, fuck you. We're just going to do our own thing. And Chris had been in on it for like a month or two before we actually announced it. And I think after I pitched it to Chris, I pitched it to you, Wolf. I pitched POW to you, Wolf. And you didn't even hesitate, bro. You're like, yeah, I'm down, And if my memory is correct, you said you were going to retire, right, Wolf?
Yeah.
So what was the deal? What was the deal with that? Why did you decide to leave JTD for us?
Well, originally before POW was even considered, I was gonna retire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about it. There was no question to it. I didn't have a backup plan. I didn't have this idea. I ran DZW, but when I told them that I was leaving, everybody quit.
Right.
Your DJ, or not your DJ, your Marcus, your D-Man, everybody you can think of. They they left me behind, and they showed their true colors, and I was just like, okay, I understand what's going on. You guys are gonna take his side, so I'm gonna take my hiatus. I'm getting married. I'm gonna try starting my family. I'm working full time, so well, I mean, at the time I was, and I had a lot on my plate. So I was like, okay, let's take this out of the equation. This has been passion for the last decade. I mean, this is my legacy. This is where I ran way to. I didn't choose alcohol. I didn't choose drugs. I chose wrestling, something that made me happy. And I no longer had time for it in my life at that time. And my passion was killed
Mm-hmm.
by one man's selfish decision. And I can't even look at that time I couldn't even look at 2K and said this is a fun game. Anytime I seen the title picture on my PlayStation, I'm fucking pissed at it. And I just said, hey, once I face TJ at what's the pay-per-view called? Ultimate Showdown, I said this is the goodbye. And they believed me. And if you go back, you can hear it in my promos. I said if I can't beat him, I'm retiring. And then I believe it was a couple days before the pay-per-view even aired on YouTube. You had came to me and was like, hey, we're starting this show and we want you in the helm. We want you in creative ideas with us. We want you to help us build this new generation of superstars, this new generation of fun. And I'm gonna be real with you guys. I had my doubts about it. I didn't know if this was just another escape to the same reality or into the same demise. And I had my doubts. But once I showed my face in POW, it erupted.
Mm-hmm.
And it reignited something inside me.
Right.
And if go
ahead, Chris.
Go ahead. And if I can echo Wolf's sentiment, I was on the same boat, SYM, if you remember.
Yeah.
I was kind of on the fence about not necessarily because I was gonna walk away as well. I was ready to be done with it all, walk away from that company and just be done.
Right.
Right off into the sunset, dye my hair gray, strum up my guitar, and drink my coquito, and that was it.
Well, the both of you were both on the fence, and if I remember correctly, this is a little more before I even pitched POW, and before I was even like, I'm bringing it back. We had the night before I had gotten canned from JTV. We had a chat. We were in a chat because if y'all remember, there was a chat where Trey was crying on the phone and playing phone tag with everyone, right? So we had that chat, and I vividly remember. I'll never forget this. Wolfe was being skeptical. He's like, bro, I don't trust Jay anymore. And you were like, I just don't like the decisions he's making, and I think it's stupid that this is going on. And I told you this. I'm like, bro, look, just trust him. I was like, just trust him. Just trust Jay. This will be fine. And you were like, no, I trust you, SYM. You said that. And I remember that. And I think for me, that meant so much to me. And that was like, all right, I can trust Wolfe. Yeah.
A little bit of insight on that too. Once you left and the dust settled, really, I was his right-hand man. Nothing went through JTV without me knowing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was his second hand. I was the gift of God from him, basically. And because he knew TJ wasn't... He told me straight up. He said, TJ is not world championship material. Trey's not obviously ready because Trey's Trey. Chris isn't going to stay with us because I think Chris quit before the show even aired. Or no, after Chris's match, he said, fuck you guys, I'm out of here. And he was just like, Wolfe, I need you to be this guy. He said, at the pay-per-view, I got to put the belt on you. And I was like, well, okay.
What match was that, Wolfe?
That was Showdown.
Yeah, Showdown.
I never said, fuck you guys, I'm out of here. I mean, I said that the day of.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
And here's the thing, because what cemented it for me, really cemented it, was when I saw his little cut thing he did of the Renegade Posse, disbanding and jumping in, whatever. That was premeditated. That's not some shit he did just off the cuff from when I quit that morning. That's not something you can do in a couple. That's not something you can do in a couple hours and then put it in and make it seem like it has been there for a while. That's not how that works.
Well, let's backtrack.
He told me about that too.
Yeah, let me backtrack a little bit because when I was still there, he told me I'm getting rid of people after Showdown, and the two biggest lists on the names were Chris and King Wolfe. Two biggest names on that list were you guys.
Oh, yeah. So he didn't mention me either, because he even said right before I left when we got into this whole fucking Jiffy thing about him fucking trying to put himself in between me and Wolfe. We'll get to that in a fucking minute. But he told me straight up that I was thinking about getting rid of you in the first place. I'm like,
no, hell no. Look, let me just say this. He lied. He's a liar. That's what he does. He lies. He was never going to get rid of you, Drascal. He tried to say that to make you feel lesser than what you were. Because to be honest, he had all the faith in the world in you, which is why he had you squash Wolfe at Showdown, right? So
putting the story together, it doesn't make any sense considering he said it wasn't championship material, and he didn't. In my fucking story, I was getting the opposite. He was telling me I was championship material. So
well, that's what you call.
That's what he does. He wants us to divide against each other.
Right.
Because I think somewhere in the cracks something got out about how we knew about that he was going to release us. I'm pretty sure he knew SYM was going to tell us and he was going to start dividing us, but he went around to Chris. He said that EOP's leaving. Then he went around to TJ, said, I'm leaving, and Chris is leaving. He made all three of us think that we're all leaving together, or that one of us was going to stay. He gave all of us this hope, and it wasn't there.
Right. The thing is, and that's kind of what he did, and being in creative there for the long run that I was in the summer. Notice how his views went up, by the way, when I started taking over creative. But also the fact that I really tried to make everyone feel important and feel special to that show.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
His highest viewed show was Ultimate Showdown 4. And who did it have on it? Who was the main card?
Us.
It was us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because we had so much story behind it. Like, SYM did his research. He knew where we started from. He knew where we wanted to be. He knew the track that we wanted to go. Like, before SYM even wrote the scripts, he said, hey, Wolfe, hey, Drascal, I want to know some story behind you guys. And we showed him building an empire. We showed him DZW. We gave him the keys to the vault. And SYM ran with it. And that's why it was so good, because we had such a legacy and a story behind us.
Mm-hmm.
Because you believed it. Like, that's what he doesn't understand. He just puts fucking shit together, renegade pussies, whatever they was called back then. I mean, hell, what was the other fucking team that he had?
The Skullfuck Brotherhood.
Yeah, Skull Brotherhood. Apparently, I was gonna be in it. Oh, this person was gonna be in it. It's so secretive. Fuck that.
Wait a minute. Hold up, wait.
Secret society.
Wait a minute. Yeah, it was the secret society, but it's not a faction.
No, it's a faction.
Wait a minute. He was like, I'm like, what? So what is the Skull Brotherhood? He's like, well, it's a group of people together. So I'm like, oh, okay, so it's like a faction. He's like, well, no, it's a secret society. Like anybody could be in it. So it's a group. Yeah. Then it's a faction. No, it's motherfucker. Like what? What the fuck is it? Are they the goddamn Care Bears? Like what the fuck? Like
motherfuckers are dining in at Kakarot and shit. What
right? What is
and
this
the bad
shit?
thing is, it's literally all it was the fucking secret society of computer played wrestlers.
Yeah, motherfucker was like, oh, they're a secret society. Like anybody could be in it. Like what the fuck is this? A Ford Fusion? Like what the fuck? Like it's just
Dirty Mike and the boys.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid. The Empire of Poverty makes more sense than the Skullfuck Brotherhood.
Let's not get into that.
But back to the story. So let's traverse past this. You all left. You all decided to leave and join POW.
I want to tell a story about him trying to fucking divide me and Wolfe real quick.
Well, I'm going to get to that. I was about to introduce you into the whole storyline and the timeline. So give me a second here. I'm working on it, as you would say. You know? But
quicker, bitch.
So these two left. You know, Wolfe and Chris left. They joined me the day of, on October 24th, 2019, the day of Showdown. They're both like, we quit. We're done. We're going somewhere else. Wolfe wasn't known to have been in POW until the day of the press conference, which didn't come until like later that month or in November, I believe, right? He didn't know. He told me this over the phone when we were fucking arguing back in February. He told me, you pulled some shit with Wolfe. I didn't know he was going to be there. So that was a big surprise. And I'm like, well, you know, you don't know your people then, you know, because you want to fuck people over. I mean, he had you get squashed and humiliated at the end of the show. So it's like, you're just fucking dumb, dude, you know. But after you left, the word was like, let's keep getting people that we want from there over here. The only person I wanted was Colin Klein. Chris, can you verify this?
That's absolutely true. We did not want anybody else on his roster.
I can verify that too, because I talked to Colin Klein multiple times. He was a really good friend of ours, of me and Drascal's. Like outside of CAW, we all hung out all the time. We played games together, and he was a chill dude. He still is a chill dude, but he was brainwashed.
Mm-hmm. That's the only person I wanted was him, and he didn't even get to have a conversation. He just blocked us, right?
He followed us and then he blocked us.
That's right. He followed us on Twitter and then he blocked us.
Instagram.
It was Twitter as well. He followed us on both. Yeah, he followed us on both and then he blocked us, right? Because apparently the whole thing was, you can't talk to these guys, you can't, you know, support them or whatever, right? He wanted to lie to me.
The whole scenario was like basically hate on POW. That was
right.
He had a me or them mentality.
right? Is that, can you, since Drascal, you were the one in JTV at the time, you were the champion, can you verify this?
Yes, I can.
So what was
He
he
even
saying?
posted it.
He was posting it?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Dude's a liar, because over the phone with me, he was like, "Oh, we didn't tell them to hate anybody, blah blah blah. You know, they're doing that on their own. I didn't say that. You're a fucking liar, dude.
Bullshit.
You're still telling people to hate on us, people that don't even fucking know us. But guess what, buddy? Show with no build did over 500 views. Suck my dick with Big Mac sauce. So
Can I borrow your finger for a second?
Can I borrow your finger for a second? Look, that's me fucking asking for Wolfe and Chris. Can I borrow your stars for a second? but yeah, so he was saying all that shit. He was saying all that shit. Colin Klein didn't even want to have conversations with that. That's the only person that I wanted. And then Wolfe is like,
bro, shit is fucking ass. Like, oh, go ahead.
Well, Wolfe was saying, I can't do this without Drascal. We need Drascal in here, right? Because the whole time, the whole storyline that I had in mind was Wolfe and Drascal. Like that was started from the beginning. I'm like, I know we're going to get Drascal. I know we're going to get him. And I knew this because I was still talking to Drascal on the side. And I was just like, bro, just, take your time, think it over. Let me know what you want to do. Meanwhile, Drascal, in JTV, he's harassing you daily, right?
Yeah.
So tell your version of the story of what happened.
What happened to me was, at first, I didn't know anything about POW. I was just fucking sitting there, I was pissed off at finding out that Wolfe was gonna fucking leave, but at the same time, I wanted to see where Jay would take me after I defeated Wolfe for the belt and retained it. But after like dozens of parties of listening to his dramatic bullshit and fucking blah blah this, blah blah that, fucking him telling me fakely that I'm championship material, fucking figuring out what he was gonna do with me, he then fucking decides to message me on Messenger and say that I forgot what I got pissed off at him about. Oh yeah, the fucking trying to get in between me and Wolfe. Like he was simply saying that Wolfe was gonna eventually turn on me. I was like, hey yo, you don't even fucking know us. But first off, you fucking, whether Wolfe was gonna leave or not, you were fucking
gonna release him anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
He was trying to get between
sitting here
us.
lying to both of us.
He was trying to get between us because if you recall, when TJ left for FHW, he found a way how to divide us because he had me and TJ thinking we was against each other.
I remember that. We did a...
Yeah, think about that. Think about that too. The FHW shit. I went on my own, grabbed DJ Hudson. Shout out to him. I hope he's doing good. I've never had anything against him. But I went on to make FHW for him and a bunch of other people so that they had a platform to be on. But I decided, hey, I still want to get back with JTV. And they were upset about it, but they understood and they respected my wishes. So I went back, and Jay decided to tell me it's either you get rid of FHW and come join us, or we can make FHW stay, but you'll use our superstars. And that's not something I want to do because at the time, DJ and all the other people I was with had issues with JTV. And that right there tells you that there's something wrong with that fucking place. But I decided to fucking get rid of it. Yeah. And here we are,
JTV, I don't mean to cut you off. I just want to give this detail. JTV is toxic as fuck. It's a revolving door of people always leaving and coming back, and him fucking breaking friendships with people, trying to embarrass them publicly and getting their personal shit, right? And then bringing them back like 2 years later, right? I mean, even in his little video diss to us, he even toyed with the idea of bringing us back. So it's like, what do you want? You want us to fucking be your little bitches and your puppies and make you feel special because you got nothing else going on in your life? Like, what?
Honestly, even if they were fucking acquiring fucking money to pay us, I still wouldn't go back. That fucking money doesn't mean shit. But how you treat me That's
Yeah, my
That
happiness
means
comes
something.
fucking first.
Right.
If I can say something here, let's move on from this bullshit. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna end it on this. I completely agree, y'all. Fuck them in every single way possible. That whole company can burn to the ground.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fuck.
they're not putting out
And
content, so
No, he's
and
not really
motherfuckers that
one.
don't believe us, well, have fun fucking living in between.
Hey.
Suck my dick.
cancel culture is a real thing, and it's gonna be hitting on their doorstep real soon.
right. The fucking thing is this, man. The place you always see the stuff in CAW about it being toxic and it being fake and phony. JTV is an accurate depiction of all of that.
Wait, who was the one that said that I called them the N word?
Oh, Cassidy Dreams. Cassidy Dreams.
That motherfucker is stupid.
He wanted to lie and say that Wolfe and Drascal called him the N-word, right? Like the most extreme of extreme. But here's the thing. I didn't believe it because I know you and I've known you for a while. But to wrap it up, like Chris said, because I don't want to focus on this, it's fucking toxic. I'd never return. I'm not trying to be friends with Jay. Jay knows what the fuck it is. I told him over the phone, the next time we do this, there's not going to be a phone call. There's going to be me and you face to face in Vegas. Since you're such a big man, I've met you in person. You're the fucking size of my trash can that I'm looking at right now. If you want to really be big and play these fucking games,
G.I. Joe action figure.
if you want to be fucking big and play these games, bro, I know you're going on a little spiritual journey. I'm going to have to stop making the shows for a while, guys. I got to go clear my head and realize I'm a fucking loser. If you want to be on that shit,
how many times did he say that?
I mean, this is like the 15th, I think. So that's what they're doing right now. That's why they're not putting out any shows, by the way. But if you want to fucking be big and keep talking this shit, meet me in Vegas. That's the last I'm going to say. You can bring your fat ass friend Trey Jeter too, and you can bring Love Handle McGee, aka Corey Flash, as well. We can all settle this. In the fucking immortal words of Road Dogg, yum yum, come get some. I know you're excited for that, Trey. But that's all I'm going to gloss over. So we got Drascal around December, right? And that's when we put out our very first house show. And that house show is fucking trash, all right? I knew it was bad, but the thing is, and I told Chris this and I explained it to him, with the house show, the whole point of it was for me to figure out an editing style and a production style. It was a test. It was a test video on how we would do this in the future, right? And it even says that in the description. You can go and find it on our channel. I never edited it. It said that in the description that this is just a test. We're trying to figure out how to do it. There was no commentary, nothing. But it was bad because I was using like One Shot or something like that. It was like a software called One Shot for editing, and it was fucking trash, right? And after that, I didn't like how it came out, so I'm like, let's just do Reckoning. And I got a different software for Reckoning, and Reckoning is where I'm going to go next with this, because Reckoning was such a fun show, and it was a big show, and it was our very first one, our very, very first like main show that we ever did. Our biggest, right? Our biggest. And it was like our coming out event, so to speak. And the idea for that name came from the game Day of Reckoning, you know. I just felt that it was appropriate. And I knew going in that I needed a major match to sell it, right? So the dream match, me versus King Wolfe. And I approached you about this, Wolfe, and you were like, hell yes, let's do it, right?
Yeah, because I told you and Chris, and I believe TJ in the party chat before, like, as soon as the fucking press show hit, that I wanted SYM to come out as a wrestler. Because I know when we started, you was like, oh, I don't know about coming back, because I was kind of pressuring you into JTV to come back eventually too, and I mentioned there, I was like, I would have a dream match against you. 2 different generations of wrestlers fucking coming at each other.
Mm-hmm. And I remember Chris, when Chris was fucking joining me, he's like, wait a minute, are you going to come back as a wrestler? I'm like, hell yeah. He got excited, bro. I remember when I told you that, Chris, and you got fucking hyped. Like,
I think I was there for that, and I heard the whole fucking conversation. He was like, "Oh yeah, boy, let's go."
He got fucking hyped.
He sounded like that one video from Twitter. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's take it over. Let's take it over. The streak hasn't begun. The streak hasn't begun.
Yo, he started shaking the ropes like Chaz the Spaz and shit.
Chaz the Spaz.
But see, the difference is I don't get blown up after 30 seconds.
Oh shit!
Oh shit!
Oh shit!
Speak your name.
Chris was hyped about me coming back, and I remember I told you, Wolf, that I wanted us to have a match that was like Okada versus Omega, right? An hour-long match that was just a classic, and I think we delivered on that. It's still one of my favorites, you know. And hell, man, we did round 2 on POW Live. You know, let's just say round 3 is going to be an instant classic, if you know what I'm saying.
Shit.
So, Chris, you had well, for one, when you guys joined, when Wolf joined, we took DZW as well with us, and we put it under our umbrella. And what came with that was the YouTube title. And so, the person who was carrying that was Tyler Steele. And so I was like, Chris, how would you feel about having a match with Steele? What was your reaction? I can't remember. So what's your take on that?
I was hyped, and at the same time, I did not know what to expect because, and Wolf had warned me about this when we were in DDW, that when at the time when he was YouTube champion, he was a heel, and he played stiff. We played a very back and forth style of making each other look good.
Mm-hmm.
Steele was not about that life. He just wanted to fuck you up. And Wolf told me about it going in the first couple of times, and I gradually got a little closer every time, but I couldn't get over that hump in DZW. And when when POW rolled around, I made it my mission to make sure that I don't care if I was being carried out in a body bag or on a stretcher, that YouTube title was coming with me, and I was hyped at the opportunity to take that away from him.
Yeah, a little story behind that is because in DZW, Tyler Steele went under my wing. He became a good friend of mine. I know him personally, and inside the ring, he's the first graduate of the fucking Painkiller Productions studio and shit. And I taught him how to be a heel, how to walk, how to talk, how to think, how to move. I gave him an inch, and dude ran me a mile, straight up. He ran the game of the heel. He ran it better than I did. And at first, I wrote some of his promos. I showed him some of the match. I gave him some easy people to beat. And then I started upping it. And I upped it, and I upped it. And dude took that ball, fucking threw it to himself, caught it, and caught a home run.
Mm.
That dude is... And just look at it. Look at where he's at now. Like, he may not be YouTube champion, but...
Dude is easily one of the best match people we have in the whole company. This man, every time he steps in the ring, it's almost always going to be match of the night. Or it's going to be at least a candidate.
You could give me that hour-long match with Tyler Steele versus anybody. It's still going to be fucking
you definitely won't be getting an hour-long match against with you and Wolf. Let's start there.
Hold on, wait a minute. Let's not get there yet. But Steele, and I'll put him over. Tyler Steele, another guy who used to be in JTV, didn't get a fair shake. You know, there was a bunch of drama with that. One day I'll have him come on the podcast and let him tell that story. But he's the shit. Bar none, he's the shit. And he's a fucking superstar. He's a rock star, bro.
Top contender for
You gotta suck really bad if you lost him.
You gotta fucking suck really bad if you have a bad match with him. You know.
Well, he tells a story too. Like, there's a different play style from what JTV was. JTV was shoot fighting.
Mm-hmm.
It was skill based more of. And to kind of hit on that, Tyler Steele, when he left that hiatus from JTV, he went off and learned sim fighting, which it's not letting your opponent beat you up. It's telling a fucking story, and I think that's why his matches upped it. So he upped the ante high. I'm not that drunk that I'm stuttering yet, but his just level of playing is it's. I'm lost for words, basically. I don't know what to call it.
It's just different. Like, I tried having, like, a sim match with him before. I was like, yo, how the fuck am I supposed to do this? Like, I'm so used to calm. Motherfucker was pointing out moves to hit. I have to hit on him. I'm still like, did I do that right?
Yes,
was this a good spot?
He plays like an actual wrestler does. He calls moves out.
Yeah,
and, like... My match that I had, to backtrack to the first POW live event with Justin Massacre, shout out to you. That match was golden. That was a great, like, competitive, straight up,
It really
trying to
was.
knock your head off type match.
Yeah.
But Steel is on the complete opposite side of that spectrum. So when I had to face him, and we were talking about the match, and he started talking to me about shit he wants to do, I'm like, this is different.
It is. But let me.
But I trusted him, and he was talking, and as we were going through the match, he was calling for spots, whatever, and I was just like, I want to see where this goes.
It's hard to keep up with him. I gotta say that.
Yeah, it is. But when you start to notice what he's doing and how and like the way that he moves and where he positions you, because he's very methodical in that case. He knows he's very ring aware, which is amazing in CAW.
Ring technician.
Exactly.
And let me just say this because I've never known anybody in the history of these games who knows it in and out like he does. Like never. He knows everything. Like, dude.
He knows every. It's like he sat there and he studied the map of the controller. He figured out what. Okay, if I turn it this direction, what does it do? If I go this direction, what does it do? He knows, and he knows his moveset too, like the back of his hand.
He's just
He defies all odds. I mean, the overalls don't count, but the dude is an 82 overall. Everyone else is 100 overall, but yet he's still beating everybody's ass. I'm like, how the fuck do you do this shit?
But that match, I wanted to see that because I'm like, this is going to be good. So I knew, I'm like, I got to have that one workhorse match for the YouTube title, and that's what it was, Chris and Steel. And that match was fucking incredible. Like,
And wasn't that the match to lead off the show, if I'm not mistaken?
I'm sorry?
Wasn't that the match to lead off the show?
No, that was the second to last match.
It was
a co-main event.
It was a co-main event, yeah.
For some reason, I don't know why I kept thinking we were the show starter.
You guys were co-main event, and there was like no botches.
You know why? The reason I kept thinking it was like a show starter was because I kept telling Steel, I go, I want this match to not only blow everyone away, but I want to make it so good that there's no way, heaven, hell, or earth, that you and Wolfe would be able to top it.
Jesus Christ.
And that's the matches that you want, because you have the matches, and how the matches was put out on the card too was you had a good first match, and it got the fans wanting more. The next one got them hungry for more. And then you give them Steel and Chris, and it fucking nearly ripped the roof off. If it didn't. And then you go to SYM and me, and the whole show wrapped around it in like a fucking bow. Like the perfect present.
It's still one of my favorite shows. So Reckoning was like, it was a good start for us. You know, it was a great start. Let's look at the card from the top down. You know, we had the opening match, which showcased the competitive side of CAW. I think you had Ronan, somebody named Christian Armstrong, I believe. You had Jester, and you had Hiroshi, right? I was playing as Hiroshi. That match was just thrown together, bro. That match was literally just thrown together because if you recall, Chris, Jester had left, right? This was like the first time Jester left in POW because he did the house show. He had the match with Logan. Then him, Hefe, and Traycon and Logan left. Those four left. And I had to message Jester, and I was like, because I got into a chat with Wolfe, and I was like, Jester, can you come back and do this match for us? Can you tape this match? He was like, yes. So for that, I will always endlessly praise Jester and have the most utmost respect for him. I know that some people in here feel differently about him, but I like Jester. And at the end of the day, the reason why he's not in POW still is just because of personal things on his end, and it just not fitting with what we're trying to do. I haven't had the time to speak to him, but I like Jester, and I still consider Jester a friend of mine with the most utmost respect. Do I think he's problematic and he has his own issues? Absolutely. And I goof around and I bullshit in the chat with Hefe and Traycon, but I give that man all the props in the world. We're all human at the end of the day. But he ended up winning that match, and I know I was going to set him up for something big. I'll get into that in a little bit. But then the second match was another Bushido Pro match. That was a sim match. It was a squash match. And I don't know if you guys knew this, but T-Raven is 25. I've known him since the SBR days. And he was still doing the kind of shit that he's doing now, making crazy good looking CAWs. And I was like, I gotta work with this dude and I gotta get some sim characters because we didn't have a full roster, right? So we were going to make up for that with sim characters, you know, and I was like, I'm going to use his characters because I want to have that Japanese style to it. And that's what he makes. And I remember I was originally pitching for him and JTV to work together. And I was like, look, you're going to do the Japan tour, the JTV Japan tour. Why don't you actually have like Japanese based CAWs that aren't racist? And he was like, okay, cool. That's a good idea. We were going to have a negotiation. And before we did that, I got canned. But T Raven is 25, great guy. I like him. He's just really cool. He plays Ghost of Tsushima too, Chris. So we got to get him in on that too.
Yes,
We gotta get him and talk to him.
Wait. Before Drascal button, when can we set this up? Because I'm not playing.
I will hit him up probably later this week. I'll try.
Okay? I'm gonna message you about it because I want this to happen.
All right, it's going to happen. It's set. But then after that match, because I think we only had like, what do we have, 6 matches, right? I think
so.
After that we had the tag team match with the Drunken Cowboy and Kyle Storm team against Justin Massacre and Mason, right? And Justin Massacre, as Drascal says, Massacre. That I had you tape that, Chris. What was the experience with that match?
It was definitely it was a lot of fun. At times it was frustrating because I felt like Kyle Storm was just kind of like bullshitting. So I'm just gonna say it like it is.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a straight shooter at that. I just felt like he was bullshitting. You know, he wasn't really paying attention. He was just he was going in for himself, basically.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like Justin and Mason were a little more, you know, in tune with each other and knew each other's moveset and was playing like a tag team.
Which is why they're still here, you know, because they wanted to work with us. And Storm, he agreed to it. He agreed to joining with us, but then he's like, I don't want to do the matches. And it's like, well, why are you here, bro? So because the plan was really for him to keep having random tag team partners, and it was going to be a comedy thing, right? Until finally he gets one, and it was going to be Wells. It was going to be him teaming with Wells. I remember this because I had this plotted out in my head. And Wells was going to... Yes, we talked about it. And Wells was going to turn on him, and that was going to be a match for Apocalypse, right? So he leaves, that falls through, and I'm like, all right, whatever. But you played as Cowboy Jet. Cowboy Jet was also in the tag tournament. He fucking... The gimmick was a drunken cowboy, all right? It was just stupid. I mean,
it literally came about because we were fucking around one day just playing offline, right? We were I don't think we were recording match. We were literally fucking around offline, and he tripped over the steel steps. He literally tripped over the steel.
Something.
He either tripped over the steel steps or he tripped over something, and it was just like, yo, he's drunk.
He's a drunk cowboy.
He was blown up. He was blown up because he couldn't run around like that.
Something like that happened, and that was the gimmick we went with, right? And this was before Hangman Page was getting drunk. So AEW, I want my royalty checks, all right?
Hey, me too now.
Yeah, me and Chris were both, you know, and then we had to stop using Cowboy Jet because his creator wanted to make a whole stir about it and was like, no, you can't use my character anymore. I never gave you permission. When in fact, he did give Chris permission to do whatever he wanted with the character. We have screenshots to prove it, right?
Yes.
So he caused this stir and we're like, all right, fine. We'll stop using Cowboy Jet. And that's why we created Billy Bob Bitch, who's a parody of Cowboy Jet. But that's exactly what that is. Let's be real. It was Chris's idea. You know, he wanted to do it.
Thank you. I take all the credit for myself.
That was Chris's idea. I'll give him the pat on the back. But one thing that he and I worked on after the tag team match, right? There's this segment that is now legendary, the greatest fucking segment in CAW history. Tyler Steele is walking backstage. He's walking backstage minding his business, and then he stops. And he turns, and he sees fat ass Spider-Man.
Well, no, because you hear something going on first, because you hear some kind of music set in, and it's like, what the fuck is going on? See me die. Did he?
I'm going to edit it in the clip.
Motherfucker's just going in the back and you see Spider-Man fucking web swinging his way across the whole fucking back.
It was fucking fat ass Spider-Man at a vending machine, right? And nothing happened. He was just staring and still just kept walking away. Like nothing fucking happened. That character.
Tell me why I just got up to go take a piss and I unplugged my mic and I heard fat ass Spider-Man in the bathroom. I looked around like he was coming for me, yo. I got shook for a second.
See, he's in Wolfe's house.
Yo, I have my Spider-Man suit in my bathroom hanging up.
Yo.
I used to wipe my hands off with, and I turned around and looked at the suit. I was like, "Are you coming to life?"
Yo, he's in Wolf's house looking for the microwave, man.
Yo, I got scared for a second.
Back on track.
So we created that character, Fat Ass Spider-Man, the character everybody's really fond of, the most popular character in, I would say, all of CAW at this point. Polarizing. How so?
Because he took away by storm. Fat Boy fucking took the ball and ran with it.
What
started off as a fucking at a laugh is the biggest fucking talk about POW. And he's in other shows.
He's in other shows as well.
I was watching Warzone Wrestling. And Fat Ass Spider-Man turned up.
He's so popular, people are asking us to book him, you know, like, hey, can we use this character? Like, he's fucking popular. So Chris and I,
people who are not even associated with POW or WCW in any way, they freaking make videos of like reacting to that segment.
Yeah,
shit's funny.
People that don't even like CAW fucking think it's funny. So we came up with that character, Chris and I knew I wanted a comedy character because I'm like, I don't want this shit to be so serious, because if it's too serious, then people just won't care, right? So I'm like, we got to have that goofy factor in it, and we got to have like some humor and some comedy to it. So I was like, Chris, man, I think we need like a fat black dude dressed up as Spider-Man to be like the comedy character. Like, I had this in my head. Like, I'm like, fat ass Spider-Man, that's what we're going to call him. And Chris is like, say no more, I'm on it right now. He hops on the game, fucking makes it. It's a fat guy, no shirt, Spider-Man mask and gloves, and I'm just like, this is perfect.
And underwear. And
underwear and socks. The fact that he's like fucking in underwear and socks and wearing gloves but nothing else, it really makes the character so great, you know. It's just goofy shit that we came up with to really get pops out of each other, and it ended up working, right? So
hey man, he's protecting himself from the COVID.
I guess we were ahead of the curve on that too. Shit, you know.
we are the Simpsons.
Oh fuck, we predict everything. But well shit. God damn it, throws me off there. But so that character got over really fast and really quick, and he's like the most popular character now. And I want to just clear up some confusion. There's a difference between fat ass Spider-Man and black ass Spider-Man. Let me just say that. So that's a little tease for you guys. More on that soon. But after that, then we had John Carter versus it doesn't fucking no. I'm talking about Reckoning still. We had John Carter in that match against whatever the fuck his name was. Can't remember his name. The guy was a dickhead. He ended up leaving anyway, and John Carter was pissed off.
Brian Walker.
Brian Walker, there you go. Fucking yeah, I thought it was Paul Walker for a second. I'm like, what the fuck? But
I remember Walker being a fat ass runner. That shit was.
Yes.
He kept running away.
Yes. In the match, he kept running away from JC, and JC was getting pissed. So JC fucking squashed him towards the end. If y'all remember that. Let's take this time to really hype up JC like we did Tyler Steele. Chris, how did we sign JC? Because at the time you were talent relations.
So Justin was my first talent that I brought underneath the banner of POW.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, he introduced me to I believe, to other people. And from there, I remember JC hit us up one day and he's like, kind of like, what are y'all about? And I basically explained to him, like, listen, we're up and coming a league we're staying on 19 because we know 20 is going to be garbage. Although some people say it's 8 out of 10. I don't know how, but anyways.
Shit.
Drugs are bad, kids.
So is beating your animals.
Yeah.
Are drugs bad, though?
Or your spouse.
Or your spouse.
The same goes for
wait a minute,
getting
hold on.
laughing at a dog fucking a cat,
hold on now. Wait a minute. Wolf, did you just say beating your dick is bad?
I mean, I heard it can make you go blind, so...
Yo.
Wait a minute now. Wait a minute.
Wait,
here.
what?
My grandmother always told me if you beat your dick too much, you're going to go blind eventually.
Well, let me just say this, man. Look, my vision's already kind of getting blurry there. I think it's just age. I'm hoping it's just age. But beating your dick
notoriously being known for being legally blind, yeah.
Stevie Wonder? Did he used to fucking torture his dick, do you guys think?
Okay, most likely.
Can we get back on track?
I just want to say,
motherfucker, put that bitch in a chokehold.
He was beating this shit, talking about some very superstitious.
No.
Riding on the wall.
No, he said riding on my balls. Anyway, I just want to say this one last thing about Wolf's comment. If beating your dick is bad, well, I guess I'm Satan. So back on track with the John Carter story. No, I said Satan, not Jesus. But back on track, Chris. Continue what you were saying.
You
don't even know.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So Justin,
give me a second.
You said JC hit you up and asked about us. So you told him what we were about.
And I told him, we're still kind of I explained to him we're still getting the roster together. But when we do, this is not your ordinary league. We put in mad work to this shit in terms of editing. And unlike other leagues that have you on a time crunch, if you work with us and tell us, hey, I'm available. Keep in touch with us. Tell us your availability. We can work with you. We're more than willing to work with people as long as they're willing to work with us.
Right, and yeah.
And so he asked like the same question that everybody asked. What are the rules? This, that, and the third. No spamming, no hatred. No talk. Not too much talking shit. Like don't cross a line type of deal. But other than that, everything goes.
Right, and it was more so about a creative freedom thing when we were signing people. Yeah. It was more so like, hey, you guys have the freedom to do whatever the hell you want, right? And I think that was a major selling point.
That we're not gonna ask you to freaking lead people into fucking carnivals and shit and do.
They tried to put me down, but it wasn't enough.
Hey guys, calm down. That was a very dark place.
Hey, Drascal, shout out to you because they did try to keep you down, but you came back.
Drascal
came back and shoved my boot up there. That's fine.
But
keep on going. What I was saying, and then from there, JC, from what I remember from JC, he kind of at first he kind of struggled to find his footing a little bit in the practice matches, but he got it quickly. He very much like you when we were training and you were trying to prepare for your comeback. You were training against me.
Yeah.
And much like you, he was picking it up like easily, and I was like, yo,
JC's the shit.
Player.
JC's the shit. Wolfe and Drascal, would you like to chime in? What do you guys think about John Carter?
Let me go first. I think, like you said, I think he's the shit. Yeah, but I'd like to bring up a little bit about me and his first match together.
Episode 2 or 3? Episode 3, right?
And him going up against each other, fucking following me versus Wolfe. Yes, he did beat me, and I'm gonna tell it how it is. But in the first match, he did beat me. So we did a second match, and he let me win. But in the first match, I understand that he's gonna get hyped because he beat me. But did he ever mention that he didn't want me to double reverse him because it made him look stupid. That's practically why I lost the first one. I mean, if you can use moves that can't be double reverse, I should be able to double reverse. Am I wrong?
Right. Well, look.
But still, his in-ring ability, it's impressive. He doesn't run, well, unless it's like an off-screen match and he's getting fucking gangbanged. But I've had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I was just going to say. I was just going to say, he's really. I don't know. I see him as the future. If we have a future, I see John Carter as
it. Yeah.
He's it. He's the guy. He's like one of my favorites. I have favorites in POW. I like everybody, but I have favorites, and he's one of them. And like the guy, he's such a good kid. He's such a good kid, and I've been over backwards.
One of your favorites?
Yes. I've been over backwards to make sure that he's all right and he's safe and everything, because we do.
Hold on. Nah, you just mentioned you're bending over backwards and someone spit. Hold on.
Wait a minute
You better
now.
suck that shit back up. We ain't spitting
wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not doing none of that.
I do it.
We'll be eating that ass for that PS5, son.
This man spitting and bending backwards reminds me of Chaz the Spaz,
All right, now. You ain't gotta bring up my past.
Hold on,
I was wondering.
I didn't mean
Hold on now, because we gotta get some backstory. Everyone's wondering who the fuck Chaz the Spaz is.
Oh, fuck. Here we go.
All right, so some may know that I went to... Goddamn, I just died again. I went to the actual wrestling world, because in real life I was an amateur wrestler, and I've always had my passion to be in actual wrestling, professional wrestling, whatever you may want to call it. And I wrestled under a show, or not sorry, a show, a company named Magnum Wrestling, who was training me at the time. And they gave me a Battle Royale match to be in. It was more of a pinfall Battle Royale match, because they didn't want to throw people over the ropes due to the fucking ring being higher than shit for some reason. And it was like, you're a young boy, right? I was like, yeah. He was like, good, we need someone just to take a pinfall. I was like, okay, I'm your guy. And he's like, what's your gimmick, kid? I said, I ain't got that far. He was like, all right, we'll make one up for you. He's like, just go out there, continue cleaning the ring. He's like, and when you come back, we'll have something for you. And they came up with Chaz the Spaz.
What did you wear?
I wore some other people's gears, because I can't afford gear myself, because fuck, a pair of boots alone, you know how much those are?
It's
like $100.
Yeah.
Yes. For a cheap pair is $100. So I had a guy who wore size 12s, and I wore 12 and a halves. So they fit, I guess. And it was dark green boots, and I didn't have no pants, and one of the other wrestlers was like, well, you can wear some of my extra pants, but they might be a little big on you. These motherfuckers are falling off me. I'm a skinny kid, yo. I'm like 6'3", and I'm not gonna make it. All right. And he was like, all right, kid, your gimmick is you're crazy as fuck. You're gonna go out there. He's like, you're gonna shake the ropes. You're gonna fucking run around like you're on crack or something. I was like, okay. And I was like, I got this. I was like, what's my finisher? He's like, I don't know. What can you do? I said, I can jump off the top rope. He's like, what are you, Sid Vicious? You gonna break your fucking leg? I was like, all right. And he was like,
that's not the question.
And in the training, like a week later, I was like, oh, I can do a frog splash, and I've executed it, but I missed the dummy. Because at the time, we use these training dummies, and they're like mannequins with sand in them, but you're able to like move their body parts around, like their arms and shit, like they move loosely. And it was down on the fucking mat, and I went to go jump off the top rope, and I cleared it. And I landed on my face.
Damn.
Oh.
And he was like,
damn.
Yeah. He was like, well, this is why we don't do that.
And folks, that is what the birth of the Gringo Splash.
And he was like, you're not Eddie Guerrero, you're fucking Sid Vicious. He's like, you're gonna break some bones if you do that. I was like, okay, we're not doing that. He's like, you're gonna do a neck breaker, and it's gonna be called the Chazard of Oz. I was like, the Chazard of Oz. Nice. And in training, I did a neck breaker in training. I did it fucking beautifully, but it hurts because it's the neck breaker where they're like crouched over, like they're gonna puke or something. He's gonna puke, and it's where you go to jump over them, and as you're turning, you turn their head with them, and if you don't, you're gonna rip their fucking head off. But
Jesus
also,
Christ.
I spun the mannequin's head around because I didn't know the mannequin's head wasn't supposed to move, and yeah, I fucking almost beheaded him. Anyways, I get that out of the way, and he's like, good. He's like, you're good at the neck breaker. Stick with it. So I do, and I go out there, and what was his name? His name was Donnie Pepper Cricket. The sweetest big guy you ever think of. Big fat ass guy. He wasn't fat, he was big boned, as he would say. And he's like, go ahead, kid, go nuts. So I'm out there shaking the fucking ropes, running around the ring. And he's like, get in the fucking ring, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, yeah. And by the first 30 seconds, the bell ain't even rang yet. I need an inhaler or something.
He was blown up. This man was blown up.
This man went and bloated.
Yeah, and when the fucking bell actually rang, I was already gassed. And I was like, oh my god, what am I going to do? I'm already fucking heavy breathing, not thinking. I hit the ropes, and I was the one who tightened the ropes because it was the opening match, too. And it was just supposed to be a squash match. I hit the ropes. It's like I ran into the fucking wall. Shit hurt. Like, you can instantly see the welts on my back. And he goes, get the fuck up, what are you doing?
I'm dead.
Anyways, as I'm on the floor, like, I'm like, he's like, I'm gonna beat on you, get your breath back. And I'm like, okay, he's just gonna act like he's laying some blows on me. This man is laying fucking on me. And he's going,
How do you beat a half-dead man?
And as I'm doing this, I'm like trying to hold on to my pants, and I started to muster back up, and he was like, all right, kid. He's like, you're gonna accidentally hit me low, and I'm gonna hunch over, and he's like, do your move. Okay? I miss it.
Oh shit.
Okay, so I hate the fact that when people in wrestling use a lot of water or baby oil. You know you're gonna be slick.
Jesus Christ.
And also, before that match, too, I had jammed my fingers, so just take this into consideration. My two fingers are fucking... My index and middle finger are taped together. My pinky and ring finger are taped together. And... No, you got no grip. 0 to none. Jesus. And I missed it, and he's like, I'm gonna splash it. And fucking falls on me. Hits like a bonsai drop type of move, and good God. Ooh. If you didn't think my chest was broken before, it was now. Jesus. And match is over. We go to the back, and I'm still laying on the floor. I'm like, is it over? Did I win?
Did I win?
The fucking one of the mic guys one of the camera guys goes, "You okay, dude?" I said, "I think I shit my pants. I shit my pants in this dude's gear." And I go back there, and Donnie's like, "Damn, kid." He's like, "You can take a punch." I said, "Yep, I know." And he's like, "God damn." He's like, "Was that from the ropes or from me?" And I look in the mirror. I'm like, "Oh." You would have thought I was getting beat by a fucking baseball bat. Oh my god. And it sucked. It hurt to sleep. It hurt to do everything. And I haven't gone. Well, I went back to another training, but since then, and I seen him, and he was like, "Hey, Chazzy." I'm like, "Nope, leave me alone."
He left the building.
Hey,
Chazzy. For a big guy, for one, he can fucking move. He is quick. Oh my god.
Hey, Chazzy.
Like, anytime I go to events, too, and I see people, because I trained with a guy named Ali, and, where is he from? He's from somewhere in Africa, not to be racist, but he's got, like, this super heavy accent. He's not like a fat guy, but he's a big guy.
Okay.
And, dude, he was probably the best wrestler they had there. Love that guy. And, every time he sees me, he's like, "Hey, you gonna get your shit caved in tonight?" Nope. But he says it in like an accent. I can't ever fucking do his accent.
Hey,
he's like,
you going to get your shit caved in tonight, my friend?
Yes, that is how he fucking talks, dude.
That's awesome, bro. So that's the end of that's the story of Chaz the Spaz. You know, this is such a telling fucking podcast. I think we're going to go past 2 hours, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. But
yeah, hell yeah.
We were talking about John Carter, right? And so Jason,
hold on. I just want to send a shout out to John Carter. If what I said before offended you, my bad. You still the boy, dude.
He's the shit.
Still a boy.
He's
Bro,
the
he's probably
shit.
not
Damn it,
even,
boy.
bro, he's probably not even watching right now. He's probably looking up at the stars and shit.
Hey,
Time to look at the stars.
Well,
remember
you know,
what I
wish I was
said?
with the science team.
No more time looking at the stars. Time to become one. You know. Yeah.
No, I'm with the science team. John
Fuck that
Carter,
science team.
he's the shit, man, and he's going to be great. And well, fuck, I can't spoil. I can't spoil it because episode 6 hasn't come out yet, which is, by the way, canceled if you hadn't heard.
It's
For
sad, but
multiple reasons. Yeah, it's sad. We don't like to. I don't like to let people down, but
I was really
I'm
hyped to see it too.
I'm on a tight schedule. Oh, look, now here's the thing. When it actually comes out, it's going to be incredible, right? Because I got more time now, right? So
Big pop.
I'm on a tight schedule. The game's being awful. PlayStation just released this shitty update that really fucked everything up. So it's going to be a little bit. I say like maybe the episode will be out by November 7th, which is I think 2 Saturdays away. So maybe then. But yeah, he's going to be great, and I don't want to spoil anything for episode 6. Be on the lookout for John Carter's Gauntlet. Dude's the shit. So he
Really
wins.
hope one of the competitors is Fat Ass Spider-Man. Hope he's the third.
Well, so John Carter wins. I'm just going to ignore that comment. So John Carter wins the match at Reckoning, right? And he impresses all of us. That was also one of my favorite matches. And then we had the YouTube title match. We already talked about that. Wolfe and I CWGP title match. We spoke about that briefly. From my experience, that match was fun. I was really trying to win. Some people would say, "Oh, you let Wolfe win the title, blah blah blah. You just handed it to him." No, I didn't.
Fuck no, we didn't.
I know you didn't, because when we were training, bro, when you got it, you fucking got it.
I was on it, bro. I was on it. Now, Wolfe and I made that match kind of like how Steele does his matches. We were trying to call spots in the beginning and flesh it out. But when it got to I think the 40-minute mark, I think that's when he and I both agreed, all right, now it's time to wrap it up and time to win. I wasn't the best at the game at the time, so I was getting my ass whooped for some of that. But I was also coming back as well. And Wolfe won, bro. He won. And you really showed me something else because I hadn't played the game. I've seen your matches, but it's different playing against you. You're the shit. And I knew I wanted you to be the top guy. And I'm just glad that it happened the way it did. I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change anything. I'm glad it happened the way it did. Because after that match, you're celebrating with your title. And then we see somebody creep up from the crowd, and it's Drascal. And he hits you with his move, and to end the show, Drascal's on the stage, spreading his arms, like in your face, I'm here, right? What did you guys think about that?
So, speaking about Drascal spreading his arms like that, the thing that sold me... Sorry, my cat decided to jump up on my desk like a dickhead. The thing that sold it for me is if you go back to the post
press conference.
the press conference, yes. At the end of it, or when I debuted, I had my arms out, and
in the same position, the same way.
Yes, and same camera angle. No,
It was,
some people will have their opinions about it. That that's so minor, but I love the fact that shit like this goes into editing because it's the callbacks that is what
little things. It's little things like that. Like Wolfe, not to cut you off, but another callback that I like, and it's one that I kind of did later on. There's a point, I believe, in your match with SYM that did you put him through the steel steps or put him onto him?
He powerbombed me on the steps, yeah.
All right, so what was it, episode 3 where we had our match? I did the same thing to you.
It was episode 2 when you guys had your match, yeah. And yeah.
And it was that moment out, and me and Evan talk about this all the time, and this is where I kind of, if you wouldn't mind, I want to kind of take the reins on this. Dude is a fucking whiz when it comes to the editing and the little minor details of the callbacks, the positioning of the camera, the posing. The dude thinks about it all. Hats off to this man for everything that he does.
Exactly. The fucking production of it, you can see it because there's storytelling, there's everything that you would want in not in just a video, in a wrestling world. like you have those good camera angles, you have the good stories. I mean, it's everything that you pay for, kinda. I mean, if I paid for a fucking CAW show, this is what I'd want.
It's like every snippet of a promo, every action of the person part of the storyline, he knows how to put it together to make it look like a grand finale at the end. That's fucking amazing.
There's no wasted effort with this man. And this
I
man
re-
is a perfectionist. This man's like a damn near perfectionist. That's why he takes such pride in putting out good quality shit. You know, not that mini Mac. You know, it's such good shit. When we all know it's
Quality
garbage.
is better than
No,
quantity, my friends.
we're talking about 10 out of 10 good shit.
It exceeds 10. There's not even a number for it.
Well, damn. All right then.
I really appreciate that, fellas. And for me, that kind of style comes from like New Japan and their storytelling with the cameras and everything that they do. And you know me, you guys all know me. I want to be a filmmaker. You know, I watch movies. I love movies. So of course, I remember pitching the story to Wolfe and Drascal, like, guys, just trust me. Like, I'm gonna let you guys cut the promos you want, tell it the way that you want it to be told. Just let me guide the direction, you know, just let me guide the cameras and do all of that stuff. But you guys make the story in terms of like how you guys want to talk to each other and what you want to do. And I'll be the middleman that makes it happen. And I just like, I don't know. I just really took pride in that. And I knew immediately after I had Wolf spread his arms at the press conference, I was like, I'm going to go back to this because this is a really cool camera angle. And that's why I did it with Drascal doing it. And to fast forward to Apocalypse, your story ends with you both on the stage together,
The same pose.
doing it together at the same time, right? So to me, that's good storytelling. Not some bullshit about, well, this gets revealed here and it's shocking and it's, you know, a bunch of dumb shit that you saw on a TV show. It's how you tell the story and the quality of it, you know? Because let's be real, Wolf and Drascal's story has been told 2 times prior to ours. You know, they've done it in DZW. It's been done in the other place that we mentioned earlier. And then it finally ended in POW. Out of those 3, which one did you guys like the most?
The PLW one. It's the smallest things that could be the most greatest of masterpieces, and then that's what I like about the ending to the story. And it's not even an ending either; it's just the start.
It's just a start because when one of the biggest selling points of getting, you know, you both is that you wanted to be EOP as a team, right? And I told you, like, it's happening. You know, I'm tired of seeing you guys compete against each other. It's about time we do this. And, you know, we see that on episode 6. You guys are teaming up again for the first time in a while, you know, and that's how it's going to be from here on out. Like, EOP is back. And that's just, I don't know, man. I just like that. And I feel a certain way about it. I really like EOP.
Yeah, like EOP is its own callback itself because when I signed my JTV contract for the first time, I told him, I said, hey, I want to be a tag team with TJ because that's what we wanted since we were kids. We wanted to be a tag team together. We wanted to do stuff together. I mean, we're best friends. I would even say that we're brothers. I wouldn't say that we're best friends at all because we may have not been born together, but I mean, I've known him since before I can even walk. My mother and his mother were both friends, and we literally went to the same school. We went to the same school for a while, and then my dad said some stupid shit, got me expelled. But anyways, I mean, we always had this connection with each other, and I have a real life brother that I don't have that connection with, and I mean, and that's what I love about it.
Right.
It's basically like if he's in the dust, I'm gonna clean him out of it. Mm-hmm. And if I feel the same way, he's like he'll probably do the same for me. So, I know this whole game it's just a game and everything, but part of it is kind of like it kind of feels like real life too, because like I really do not care about the championships. I just want to be with Wolf, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. It's just a me and him thing. It's EOP. It's
It's
like
what we wanted
when
for
you
our
say
entire
my name,
careers.
it's not
You know,
just the name. You automatically think of EOP.
you think you say if you say Drascal, you have to say King Wolf. It's like saying Jordan, and then it's like saying Scotty. You have to say Jordan.
Right.
Like the names are always going to be intertwined with each other. Shaq and Kobe. You know, those kind of deals. It just throughout any age is going to have to be mentioned in the history of CAW in itself.
You know what, motherfucker? We about to fuse together and we gonna make like an ultimate form. Fuck this shit.
Oh, gee.
Fusion. Ha!
We gonna become Super Saiyan. Fuck it.
I
They
mean, shit. You already
form
got.
to
I mean,
make.
shit.
Go ahead, Chris.
I mean, shit. You already got the hair for it, so why the fuck not?
Hey, shit. Yeah, yeah.
They
Yeah.
may form,
I'm on.
but Wolf and Drascal may be forming, but they're still just a spaz.
Good
Yeah, in case you
fucking
don't want to
God.
get spazzed on, don't fuck with us.
So
But
when I did that story between Drascal and Wolf, I knew I wanted that to be the main focal point of episode 1, 2, 3, and 4 because I have it planned out long term story wise, and I got to go back because there's something that I forgot from Reckoning, and this is unrelated to you two, but we had somebody attack John Carter after the match, right? We had Gorilla Cruz, who Chris sold to me as a CAW kind of icon and a main voice in CAW, and we had him attack JC at the end of the match, right? And I was like, this is perfect. Like, I really like that you signed him. It was a really good signing on your part, and I gave you all the praise in the world. And so we had him do that, and he retweeted the clip. He was cool with it. And then not too long after it, as we're working on like our second episode, right? We're trying to have him and book him on the show. He backs out and he signs with JTV. And the whole thing, first of all, the plans that we had for Gorilla Cruise were big. Were they not, Chris? Because I already told you. I told you, and I
yeah,
let
they
you
were.
in.
Yeah, they
The
were big. Yeah,
the
fucking big
plan
plans. We were gonna shoot the man to the moon.
the plan was he was going to be in the role that Hefe's in now. He was going to be world's finest heavy. You know, he was going to be the
The
guy,
muscle.
the muscle, but not just that. He was going to be treated like a main eventer at the same time, right? He was going to be with us and we were going to be a power group. And we needed, like, because he's kind of older. Well, he is old. He's an older guy. So we needed that veteran in there, that grizzled vet, kind of like Ric Flair was in Evolution. That was the plan. And then he backed out and left and went to the other place. And, you know, it was cool at first and no hard feelings. But then when I saw some of the shit that they were pulling online with the Black Lives Matter stuff and making it about them and trying to use Black Lives Matter to promote them, I was like, fuck Gorilla Cruise, you know? Because
Yeah, I want to say something about that real quick. Like,
yeah,
I can see why they're promoting it, but it shouldn't be used as a promotion. It's okay to
You're trying to use
fucking
it to
get
put
it out
yourself
there.
over.
right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
like what you said.
Using
But
it for
like,
the wrong purpose.
Like another example of this, Lewis and his little stupid E-Fed show pulls like maybe 20 views, freaking using 9/11 as like a hashtag or like
A
like a
full
9/11.
show. He had a 9/11 pay-per-view, bro. Like, what?
that's
What?
the
Yeah.
fucking.
Yeah,
Hold on, I never heard
Yes.
about that.
UCW, Lewis's show did like a 9/11 pay-per-view, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like, these people are detached from reality. Like, for real, this is real shit. This isn't a fucking,
What?
this isn't something you use to promote, like, yourself.
That's fucking sick, dude.
People are
It's
dying on the
stupid
streets.
people like that. Like fucking, you're using basically you're using dead people's lives to promote your shit. And
Right.
not only that, but fucking gaming and fucking creating and people doing all this other shit use this shit as an escape. And the more it's okay to fucking get people to notice what's going on in the world, but you're fucking using the platform that they use to escape from the world just to fucking promote your shitty ass show
Right.
on real life shit. Do you not? I don't understand how people don't understand how fucked up that is.
But these people are the same people that want to swear up and down, well, it's not real life to us. This is just a hobby. Then what are you doing? Like you're making a fucking fake magazine with Black Lives Matter on it, big JTV and Gorilla Cruise logo slapped on it, making you guys look good. You know, trying to use it for promotion and publicity. Like you don't care about the issue. And then the argument was, well, we donated. How about you? How about this motherfucker? Did you know what you donated to? Because you didn't donate to the black community. You didn't donate to anything that really helps black people. What you donated to was a political party, you know, but they didn't know that. So these guys wanted to come at me and be like, well, we're donating, so we actually care about it. Okay, but money doesn't buy love, you know?
Exactly.
Money doesn't buy love, bro. The whole thing
Money
of
ain't
like,
shit compared to that.
right, what are you actually doing? I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm making a documentary right now about it. So what are you really contributing? I'm not fucking, you know, and yes, I donated too, by the way. I put my money down too. Have the receipts to prove it. But the fact of the matter is that they use tragedies like real life events, Black Lives Matter, 9/11, and they slap that on their show for publicity. And that's when I was like, fuck Gorilla Cruise. And that's when I joined in on what everyone was saying and was like, fuck you guys. You guys are wrong. So he did that and he left, and that was a whole ordeal, but he was planning to be in World's Finest and he was going to be a big deal with us. By the way, he still hasn't made his JTV debut, I think about 6 months later. Shout out to you, Gorilla Cruz. But, yeah, bro, you got a legend like Gorilla
Shout out
Cruz.
to the JTV community too.
You got
156 people, not you.
you got a fucking legend like Gorilla Cruz, right? And you're going to fucking put him on the rookie show. Tee but so that back to Vendetta and how this all started. All right, so Vendetta, I don't know how I came up with the name. I can't remember how I came up with it. I think it was revenge based, you know, like I mean that's what Vendetta is, but it's also because I have the book V for Vendetta. And I was like, oh, that just sounds like a dope ass name, right? Like Vendetta. And I knew I wanted the color scheme to be blue because that's my favorite color. And I knew I wanted to be like rainy kind of thing because you don't see much of that anymore. Everyone's doing like fire and shit, you know, or like, I don't know, cities, like a city theme. Gold, yeah, like that kind of shit. And I was like, we need something different. And so that's kind of the aesthetic I went with. But the first episode, I believe, it was from Nebraska, right? It was from Omaha, Nebraska. Yeah. It was from where, it was from where you guys are from, right?
See.
Yeah, so I picked that because I wanted you guys to have that because Chris got Miami with, no, you got Miami for both Reckoning and the house show.
The house show.
Yeah, and you guys got the first episode of Vendetta, and I'm going to get the big one. But I did that, and I remember you guys did that promo, and it started off a little rough at first because for you, Drascal, specifically when you guys went back and forth, but then you came back in that second half. So what do you guys think about like doing the promos on the Vendettas together, and what was like, you know, your mentalities going into it?
You want to go first, or I'll go first? For me, I don't necessarily want to say that first promo was on purpose, but I didn't want it to be as good as the second part because I'm the type of guy that fucking is like soft voice at first, and then what the fuck you just say? What?
Good guys finish last.
I want it to be that I'm that type of dude that fucking like talks low, and then if you really piss me off, I'll get even louder. I'll probably fucking top you if you piss me off. That's what I wanted to try to do. I also felt like I was playing the one who didn't give a fuck. I just came to beat your ass. That's what I felt like doing that promo.
Mm. And Wolf, what about you? What did you want to like? And this is like to all of the promos that you guys cut from Vendetta 1 through 4. What was your take on doing the promos?
Mine came from the heart more of. it was one of the first promos that I actually got emotional about. Because, I mean, like I said, all the promos, all the storytelling, it comes from my heart. Because, I mean, it was me saying that I wanted Drascal to snap out of reality of what JTV fucking bred him on. And fucking what they tried boggling his mind about, and for him to see reality and come back and be my brother, come back and be my tag team partner. No, we're not Cody, we're not fucking Dustin Rhodes, we're Drascal and Wolfe, telling the story of what we always wanted to. And I mean, I put it all out there. I always put real life into there too, because like I said, we both took a hiatus from FHW from when we had this fallout at Showdown. But I mean, we both sat there for a really long time and talked it out like real men would. And we got down to it, and we told each other, I said, we're a tag team. We're not supposed to be fighting amongst each other. We're brothers. And I said, I want to bring it all back together. And I want EOP back. And he did too. Because, I mean, like we've said, that's all we want. And that's what we're going to get.
And we weren't going to let no bald-headed, tooth-fairy-looking motherfucker try to entertain between us. So
I think Wolf's exact quote is bald-headed Dolomite-looking motherfucker. Yeah.
Oh, yo, it's really Raymo in Dolomite. There is no bald-headed black pimp.
Now, Wolf, question: How long did it take for all this to come full circle, and for you and Drascal to finally have that epiphany of in getting back together?
I mean, this has been a long time coming, because when Showdown tapings happened...
Didn't you say it was 6 years?
Oh, fucking Christ. This guy.
6 long years!
I knew
Chris
it was
just
coming.
means because I bring out the big boy voice. Don't mean you can talk to me like that. I'll still fuck you up, Sonny.
I wish you would, princess.
Wait a minute.
Hold on.
Hold on now. Wait a minute now. Let's get back on track here. So you guys did the promo. We all episode 2, I believe, Drascal cut that promo in the woods. That was really creepy and spooky that I liked, because I told you, I was like, I need something Jake the Snake Robert-ish, because your character is kind of like eccentric and dark based on everything you've been through, you know.
They tried to put me down, but they cut it.
Jesus Christ. The line the line I'll never forget is Drascal saying, I'm going to introduce you to the father of the birds or something like that, because right after he said that, the father of the birds, it's kind of like his gimmick kind of thing. And right after he said that, remember I had like the owl in the background go like, whoo, whoo, or whatever. Yeah. So I thought that was dope. But then episode 3, Wolfe is like, fuck yeah. I tell Wolfe, empty arena promo. This man, Wolfe said, all right, bet. Fucking dude, where did that come from, bro?
Because it wasn't me talking to the fans. It wasn't me talking to anybody else but one person. It was my main focus. I wanted people to hear my message loud and clear. And that was the one. That was the one I mentioned earlier about how it got me emotional. I mean, because it did. It took me a really long time to actually get that promo to you, because I mean, I had to get over myself to fucking say it. Like, I'm known to be clustered in my own words outside of promos and shit, but I mean, I can still butter your bread like nobody's business. But it just took so much out of me, like so much emotion, so much thought, so much heart. It's probably my best promo I've ever cut.
I agree.
I honestly think it is your best promo.
I agree.
In my opinion.
I don't see it. I don't see any promo for me cutting from here on to top it, because I mean, it had the story. It had everything that you would want.
I really struggle with seeing anybody cutting a better promo, you know, and that's myself included. Like, to me, that one, it just really solidified the fact that you are the top guy, and like, nobody's going to take that. You got something to say, Chris?
But not only that, like, the thing with the Wolf's promo and that whole and all that is that their story just hits so close to home. Like it's one of those rare occasions where those promos genuinely blurred the line between CAW and reality
Mm-hmm. Right.
because it toes that line so well.
Exactly. You guys did a fucking phenomenal job with the story that you told, and kudos to you guys. You guys wanted to give me pats on the back earlier. I really think Drascal and Wolf, you guys made magic, and it's just perfect. That was just really well done. The whole story being told, from episode 1 to 4. Fantastic job. Now, back to episode 1, and we're going to talk about another little detail that we started. Remember at the press conference, we all were like, we didn't have tag teams yet, right? So we knew that we wanted to do a tag team tournament with random teams, and we wanted like real people and real teams. So we had a few of them, and that's when that tag team tournament started. Now, let me just say that tournament was such a fucking pain in the ass to do. All right. We had people dropping out. We had people fucking quitting. There was the whole thing with Dirtbag and Scumbag. Like, dude, that was a pain in the fucking ass
It
to
was
do.
it was a clusterfuck. Let's just call it what it was.
It was, and granted, now we have teams that are coming in, right? We have tag teams that are coming in, and we have like our tag team is going to be incredible, but like that was rough, and I really wanted to just get it over with, and I never want to do anything like that ever again because I hated that whole experience. I mean, it was just
It's tough. It's tough. It's tough to get 4 people, sometimes 6, onto the game at the same time
right,
and get
The
that shit done
scheduling.
and get them to focus on it and be like, yo, pull your head out of your ass real quick and just get this shit done.
right,
I want to give more props to SYM too because of his editing. Fucking every fucking day, there's someone new coming to either the POW fucking Instagram or they're even coming to me just to join, and their reason is because of the editing. So
I've had it too. I've had the same thing happen.
literally. I think
I,
every day
I,
we get people trying to hit us up every day.
I literally that's what was this like 2 weeks ago. I had somebody hit us up about a tag team because they wanted to join,
Right.
and what did I do? I sent them over to the IG.
Yeah, and we're gonna have them on the show. I got to give them their tryout match. I'm in a chat with those guys too. But every single day, literally every single day, people are knocking on our door trying to get in. Literally. It's Instagram. I have like requests unanswered. But I'm sorry, dude. I'm busy. But like, yeah, that whole tag team tournament shit. I'm never doing another one of those ever again. Dirtbag and Scumbag, they are problematic. Um, People really fucking do not like them. Like when I was on commentary saying they have go away heat, like that was a shoot. That's real. Like people don't fucking like them at all.
I don't
At
fucking
all.
like them because they're a disgrace to the fucking division that so fucking want so bad. Like, I don't think people understand. Like, I'm a big fan of tag team wrestling.
Hmm.
Old school, new school, doesn't matter. I mean, Tully and Arn Anderson,
Right.
fucking the greatest tag team in my opinion. Fucking Midnight Express, you name it. I mean, and you got these two fucking scumbags, and I don't care if they get pissed off or not. You boys, your days are numbered. But
It's only a matter of
they
time.
they sit there and they spam. They don't take the game seriously. But I mean, it is a game. I understand that. But have some fucking respect for the people who are actually dedicated, who are here,
It's not just
grinding every
yeah,
single fucking day to be
not just
better.
that. Not just that. POW is a team effort, bro. If you want to make it about yourself, then say la vie. See you later. This is a team effort. If you're not here for the team, if you're not here to make everyone look good and elevate each other, you don't belong here. That's a fact.
Exactly.
And I think that's where everyone gets the wrong impression of them, and well, not the wrong impression, it's the right impression because they are pretty fucking selfish. And I'll say that they're the tag champs. I have respect for them. I think, look, they won fair and square at the end of the day. And they're still jumping through hoops that we throw at them. But the attitude is the problem. The attitude's the big
yeah,
problem. And that's where
like people say, you get what you give, and they don't really like it when we say no at their like fucking
They're like
request.
a child.
request.
They'll
Like exactly.
yeah.
Dude, the one, I don't know if it's dirtbag or scumbag or who it is, perfectionist, whatever the fuck his name is. In the chat, he's always coming at people. Oh, fight me, fight me, fight me. Nobody wants to fight you because you a fucking cheater.
Because they don't want to
You
get spammed the entire time, and that's a waste of time.
exactly.
Like when we practice to get better, not to fucking just beat people. That's stupid. That's not fun. I
It takes the
know
fun out of it.
it really does. So for them to be our champs, look, it is what it is. They won fair and square at the end of the day. I know our roster has problems with them. That they're really the reason why Jester and Logan left.
I mean, I'm kind of disappointed because in the first fucking tag match, it was bad. We told them to step their game up and have like better matches. They did that on which episode was it? I don't remember, but they did that, and then the next episode after that, it was complete shit. Like if it's gonna be a same cycle, then
Well,
it's
the tag title match was not their fault.
No,
To their
no. The tag title match wasn't their fault. Dirtbag. Jester and Logan just didn't bring their A game, and
They were given a gold opportunity and they shit the bed.
yeah, at Apocalypse, that was the worst match on the card easily, and it was fucking embarrassing for that to be our finals. I had so much faith in Jester and Logan, and I was like, you guys are gonna fucking win because I played against you, and I know you guys have that drive. They were playing scared, We were showing the roster to everybody. Everyone was like, yeah, fuck Dirtbag and Scumbag, but it is what it is. They won fair and square in this case. They were just playing really scared. And it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Look, I'm going to close that thing out about the tag titles with just saying that the future's looking up for our tag division, and I don't see Dirtbag and Scumbag sticking around. Just how I see it. But on episode 1, we also kind of had we had a vignette air for Wade War, I believe. And Wade, we had him. We had him since the beginning, right? And he lost the game or something, or he didn't have 2K19, so that really blew us. That really made us upset because it's like, dude, I already knew I was going to make Wade Ward a top guy. And when Chris told me, oh, he got rid of the game or he broke his game and he doesn't feel like buying another one, I'm like, fuck.
I was like, dude, then why? I was thinking too, like, why did you even bother to ask to join us?
Right. But then Wade got the game and he showed up for Reckoning because this is a little tidbit. The original match for either Reckoning or the first show of Vendetta was Wade Ward versus John Carter. They taped it. It was taped and everything, but I didn't like how it came out. And I told Wade, I'm like, look, bro, I'm going to give you a special debut. I'm going to make you a huge deal. Just wait it out. And Wade's like, I trust you. Do your thing. You're a great storyteller. Do your thing. So he finally, yeah.
Yeah, actually, to be honest, I don't really think it was Wade War that was supposed to. Well, maybe it was a different match because I know that I had to fucking do like millions of matches with at least 4 fucking people, but the matches were ass and they weren't like the quality that we wanted. So I had to keep going to people. Yeah, right. I thought it was Wade War that fucking. I believe I was the one who told you that Wade War. I was like, hey, yo, I just found out Wade War got the game. Maybe we could replace him into the John Carter match.
I think so. Either one of you, but either way, he got the game and they did a match, right? I think they did a match on like episode 1 or Apocalypse, one of the two. And I was just like, I didn't like the way it came out. And I feel that for Wade, I wanted him to have a bigger debut, right? So I held off on him and I had him debut on Apocalypse. And it's one of my favorite moments. And Wade's a really cool dude, really nice guy. I love Warzone Wrestling. I love everything he does. Like I consider him a friend, like a good friend. And
He's great people. I like now that he's here, cause he is repping POW hard. Like he's not like Justin is one of those guys as well. Like we gotta give our guys credit. They our guys that are here with us. They rep this company and POW to the fullest.
they really
And
do. Yeah. Like and let's you know what, let me talk up Justin Massacre, and I feel I didn't touch on him much. Massacre's a really nice kid. A really nice kid. And he was really there for us in the beginning, and he still is. He's a go with the flow kind of guy. I want him to be a big deal here. I want him to be with us forever. He's a really good guy. Like Justin's awesome. I may not talk to him as much as, because we're on different time zones, so we don't get to speak as much, but I support Massacre, and he's got my respect 1000%. No matter what, he's one of our guys. Um, so that's just to talk about Wade's debut and that kind of stuff. The first the first episode, I thought went really well. I thought the first episode of Vendetta went really well. It was a fun show to do.
Oops.
What else happened on the first one? We had a fat ass Spider-Man thing, didn't we? On the first episode, he bumped into somebody.
I thought it was
Wasn't-
Steele he bumped into.
You
No,
thought
it
it was
was John Carter.
That was when he mollywopped fucking Carter, I believe.
at Apocalypse. That was when he mollywopped Carter, right?
Oh shit!
Who did he bump into on the first episode of Vendetta? See, now I'm gonna have to
No,
go
it was
back.
Chris. It was Chris.
Was it
Chris
Chris?
found him in. I think it was like catering or some shit. Again.
Let me look, man, because now this has tripped me out. I know he was there. I know he was there. It's been so long since we did that very first episode. There's a bunch of shit that happened.
I remember Chris wearing them white and blue fucking tights, just walking in the back, and fucking fat ass Spider-Man came out of nowhere.
I don't know, man. I remember, I remember Chris having a match against Lennon. That's what I remember. What do you think? What was that match like for you, Chris? Oh,
be
okay.
honest.
Oh, yeah,
Hold
yeah.
on. I'm sorry. Glitchy as fuck.
It was glitchy.
Shout out to 2K server, baby. Fix
I
the
re-
shit.
Okay, I'm on the first episode. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm on the first episode. Fat ass Spider-Man bumps into Cowboy Jet, who fucking faints.
That's right.
He
That's
passed
right, 'cause
out.
he dragged him off. That's right, because you have him standing over him. That's how the
Yeah.
drunken and diabetic was formed.
Yep, that was right before the main event, which was the tag match that we did. Let's talk about that. That tag match between me and Drascal teaming up against Wolfe and Steel. I was mad, bro. I was fucking mad that Drascal tapped out in that match. I was like, Drascal, how the fuck is this your first match and you're tapping?
Uh,
Give him a minute. He's thinking about it.
uh,
Oh, he's working
I'll
on
borrow
it.
your finger for a second.
Oh, I was pissed about that, but I'm like, you know what? I'm a go with it. I'm gonna go with it, and I'm gonna salvage it. So at the end, I had you guys fighting, right? And you guys fought in the crowd. Tyler Steele was getting hyped up on the rope, and the show closed with Chris coming down to the ring, right, with the steel chair, taking Steele out. I run back down trying to, like, people think I'm going to save him, and it's a swerve, and I hit Steele with the chair, bust him open, and that's
My
how
God, that's why I was the second man. That's why I was the second man.
that's how World's Finest formed, right? The gunshots with the steel chairs that sound like gunshots when we were beating the shit out of them. That's how it formed, bro. And I knew I wanted a faction with Chris. I think I told you from the beginning, right? And you got really giddy about that too.
Yeah, because that's what I wanted, honestly. Because when you said you were coming back, immediately I was like, dude, you're probably my best friend in CAW. And in life, to be honest.
Right.
You're easily my best friend. And so I was like, when we get along so well, I was like, we have to have a tag team. Because this shit would be legendary.
And we did it.
And it was just a matter of, because you wanted to do Team FTW, and I'm like, nah.
because
That
that was Team MTW was my team back in SVR. With the guy named Here Comes the Pain. You know, shut your mouth. Here comes the pain. We were team Fuck the World, right? And I wanted to do that because I'm like, I want to bring it back and bring my history in it. And you're like, no, that doesn't sound right. And I was like, you're right. That does feel off. And then,
like
yeah.
no, go ahead. Tell your story
Well,
because I want to
well,
hear this. Go ahead, just go.
then the name for World's Finest. So here's the thing. When I was writing in JTV, I was going to see how long it took for things to simmer, right? And I knew I wanted to come back and eventually do something. And I wanted to get back as like a wrestler. The name World's Finest was a name I pitched to Jay for a faction between me and him. And he was on board with it. And then
Really?
when shit flipped, I was like, fuck you. World's Finest is a sick ass name, and it's a name like because I knew I just wanted one faction. I wanted one faction, kind of like a Bullet Club kind of thing, and I'm like, it's got to be special. So I'm like, who better than me and Chris, right? And a bunch of our friends, you know, just in the group. So I pitched it to you, and what did you think?
Hey, hey, hey! I was dumb hyped because I felt like, and I was dumb hyped because not only because it was just you, and I knew we would run greatness, but because I felt like it was kind of like a redemption type of deal for me because of what happened in JTV with the Renegade Posse.
Right,
You and me came up with that name and the music and everything, and to have it just blown up in our face like that, it was like, well, fuck, all that goes to waste, and now it left a sour taste in my mouth.
right. But this salvaged
So
it, you know.
yeah, yes, exactly. I still want to use a certain song in the future. That's still my plan, as far as like for a package or something, you know.
It's on the
I,
table, and it's
I I
probably gonna happen.
think
Yeah.
I think in the alphabet, BC comes after A, mate.
Well,
Okay. Well, you
That
know
that,
that.
that was a comment towards his fucking A.
Yeah, you know that's cute and all, Drascal, but
you're like 5 minutes too late.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. Goddamn. Hey, I was jet lagged. I'm sorry.
it's all right, bro. But
Jet jet lagged. You were
that's
lagging like a 2K video game. Fuck out of here.
I've been
uh,
lagged in real life and shit.
but that's how World's Finest came to be. The name. That's how it came to be, and I knew I wanted to have like a huge heel turn. What did you guys think about my heel turn? Were any of you expecting it?
Fuck no.
I
I
didn't,
expected it.
dude.
Not with steel like that.
I didn't even expect it. Like when it happened, like I knew it would happen eventually. I didn't know. I don't even think you told me when it was gonna happen.
I didn't tell anybody shit about the ending of the first episode, bro.
At
Yeah.
this
So
point, I was practically judging a book by its cover. It's just how you looked and how you presented yourself that made me feel like you were going to be heel.
That's true. I was acting a little charismatic, and I think that that's the story that I told in our match with Wolfe. Because you notice I'm taunting, I'm being a
yeah.
smart ass, and that's what ended up costing me the match. And uh, so yeah, I get that. That makes sense. But I didn't tell you guys anything about the
Nah.
fucking ending. I didn't say shit. I was like, yeah, something big's going to happen at the end, and I think you guys should just keep an eye out for it. And I think it worked really well. I think I work as a heel better than as a face for right
It's
now,
it's
at least.
it's. I
I'm
feel like it's
actually
all
kind of scared to see you work as a face. I honestly, just in my opinion, I think you'd be fucking horrible.
like I'm sorry, but a face can only do so much. You kind of have to like, because most faces, what do you do? What is a stereotypical face? Come on, hey everybody, how you doing? Kiss ass to the crowd. Cheap pop.
Right.
You
Well,
know,
I was
you
thinking
know.
if I was to become a face, I'd kind of be like The Rock. When he
Oh,
became a good guy.
kind of like a smart ass, but like
Yeah.
almost, yeah.
Gonna come out on the mic and be like, "Shut up, bitch!"
Uh,
uh, but
No. He gonna come out of the mic and talk about you can suck my wiggly dick.
Oh, I did say that in a promo. Suck my wiggle dick. Yeah, I think I'm good as a heel. I like being a heel. And another
I'll never see myself being a face. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I can't fucking do it.
another tidbit about World's Finest is that Jester was going to be in it as well. Because it was going to be me, Chris, Jester. I think Logan was going to join, and then Hefe and Traycon. And half of that is still going to happen. The other half never happened. But that's kind of the basis for it. It kind of like a Bullet Club kind of thing, but not directly. We're nothing like Bullet Club when you look at it. We're nothing like it. We're very different in the shit that we do. We're more like a mafia, you know, and that's kind of
Renegade.
We have a target, and I want him and his family dead.
That's exactly.
No, he said, "Hibbity bobbity bibba."
Motherfucker turned into Bob Marley in this son of a bitch, you know. It's giving it bop bop, you know, like. But that's kind of where I came up with it, you know, kind of like the mafia kind of shit. And the American Gangster comes from the Denzel Washington movie, you know, so that's
Because we had
kind of,
mentioned like the Scarface movie as well was the other one we had kind of mentioned was like
yeah,
so I was like it fits.
it fits really well. And I think we're going to do some cool shit. Here's a little tidbit, a little spoiler for people. There is going to be more factions coming soon. So be on the lookout for that. We got the plans in place. I don't think Wolfe and Drascal know for sure. I got to talk to them about it. But yeah, so that's going to be in place. Is there anything y'all want to talk about from those first few episodes of Vendetta?
Um,
No, not really. I think we
Okay.
nailed it on the head with like some of like the featured stars, some of the people that I know like we talked in the preview podcast or the last one that we did about like people who we want to face and whatnot. I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about best of the best,
Ooh,
which is an interesting one. I'm gonna go out and say it. POW is planning in very, very early stages of a tournament that was on DZW a year or two ago called Best of the Best.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got a lot of, how do I word this? A lot of inspiration from the G1 Classic. I've been watching a lot of that. SYM sent me a lot of it. It's fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
It's good shit. And
Mm-hmm.
of the Pure Best tournament.
Yeah.
I believe we agreed upon 16. Was it
16 people, 8 people on the A side and 8 people on the B side. Yeah.
And we haven't figured out exactly what we want to do with what the winner gets. Not sure if we want to give them. I think we talked about possibly giving the winner a world title shot at
The
Instant
biggest
Classic.
show. The biggest show.
The biggest show.
I mean, let's go ahead and say it. You know, this is a big show. This is the big podcast. Let's just say it. The winner of the Best of the Best tournament gets the main event shot at our big show, which is Instant Classic. You know, that's the first announcement of it. We're not going to talk too much about it. I've got huge shit planned for Instant Classic. Some of it involves Fat Ass Spider-Man. Some of it involves some cinematic shit. Some of it involves me paying. Some of it involves me paying certain celebrities to make cameos. Yes, indeed. So be on the lookout for that because that's it's going to be a big show. I'm not bullshitting with that one. That's going to be the big show. But Best of the Best is going to be the one that really, the tournament that really sets the tone for what I think the legacy of POW should be. You know. Wolfe said it best. It started as a DZW thing. Chris, you made it to the finals of the Best and the Best tournament.
Yeah, and I lost to a cheater.
Oh, well, not everybody can play fair, but
Yeah.
Cheater.
That's okay.
He didn't get
That's
sprinkles
okay.
on his ice cream.
But that's
Who's
okay
the cheater?
because
Who's
Gender.
really.
there's only one bitch. And his name is yeah.
So
Not
you
everybody.
better start coming.
So you better start fucking. You know, but
Motherfucker looks like a whole graffiti wall. Suck my balls.
hey,
But
watch your fucking mouth, man. I'm fucking undefeated, bro.
but
I'm going to give you
This
another notch on your
I'm going
undefeated
to make
streak.
I'm going to make this statement right now on this podcast and so everyone hears it. I will be in the finals of the best tournament, and you can bet on it.
Okay, I like that. Well, we haven't even announced any participants.
But
Best of the best.
it can't be best of the best without the best damn restaurant in this company. So
Can I be first to say, no one gives a fuck?
Damn. Well, best of the best is coming after Devil's Night, which is our next pay-per-view, and then
I actually wanted to talk about like the naming because you brought up a point earlier of like naming the shows
mhm,
and how you came up with it. Because I think it's always interesting how like they come up with the name of the pay for like All Out, All In, Double or Nothing, such and such.
right.
And I was because we were talking about what do we want to do for this pay per view, and we wanted it to be in Vegas. We wanted it to have a casino. I don't want to say a casino feel, but Vegas being Sin
Sin
City.
City, yeah, Sin City kind of feel.
So we were like, what can we do? And I remember I was watching The Crow. I was literally watching The Crow with Brandon Lee. May he rest in peace. And I remember hearing talking about Devil's Night the night before Halloween, and Devil's Night. It kept sticking with me. And the more I kept saying it, I was like, that's it. Sin City, Devil's Night. I was like, we got it. And I just kept hearing fire it up.
That's gonna be good. No. Devil's Night. I like the name, and I want to divert from that a little bit because if y'all remember when I sent you guys a schedule for what we were going to do, there was supposed to be another pay-per-view, right? It was going to go Reckoning, Apocalypse, a third pay-per-view, Devil's Night, and then Instant Classic. We scrapped that other pay-per-view, right? Well, I forgot.
Why did we scrap?
What'd you say?
Why did we scrap it? I can't remember.
I remember it being because we just didn't have time, the time thing, because I want to work on Instant Classic. Now it looks like Instant Classic won't be happening until summer 2021 at the latest. But I scrapped it for timely purposes, and I remember because I was asking Wolfe what was a good name for pay-per-views, and you were pitching some good shit. And you wanted it to be, what did you want it to be? You wanted that pay-per-view to have the War Games match, right?
Fuck, I can't remember what it was. I was it one of my DCW ones? Because I had Armageddon.
I think it was.
I had One Night Only.
I think it was one of your DCW pay-per-views. You named it after, and you wanted War Games to be on that show, right?
Yeah, I can't remember. What was mine? Mine was
it World at War or War?
Yeah,
War
World at
Worlds?
War. It was one of mine.
Yeah, or World War something. It was something like that. But and I was like, nah, I don't know. We'll figure out a name for this one. But I liked your idea to do War Games, and we switched it up, and that's how we came up with Massacre and Metal, right? And because that's all you. Like, I don't know how the fuck you pulled off War Games online. I don't know how the fuck we pulled it off online, to be honest. Because
it's fucking hard.
You know what's crazy? With episode 6, the hardest part I thought was going to be us doing Massacre and Metal, right? That's the first fucking thing I get done with that show. Like, what the fuck? And everything else is difficult. So, but I gotta give credit to this guy, Wolfe, for really laying the foundation with some of the shit he did in DCW. So not only are we using the YouTube title, we're using Best of the Best, and now the War Games match that you did. So I want to thank you for that because you really helped guided this ship, so thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, bro. And, I think we should close this out a little bit and just kind of, I don't know, let's look positive and let's look toward the future of everything, What do you guys want for it to happen with this? Where do you want this to go? Where do you see us going? What is something you want to see in the future of POW?
I want to see fucking tag teams get the fucking heat that they deserve. Like that's my main priority right now. And getting back at fucking world's trashiest. But like that's POW wise, that's my goal right now. I don't know if we was talking about that. It's a little quiet now.
I know you're not talking about getting back at us when you guys can't even get out of the fucking dumpster there living in behind the back fucking empire of poverty over here.
Hey.
Shut the fuck up.
Go dye your hair again, prick.
You can't pick corn if there's no corn, son.
Chaz the spaz.
He's gonna spaz.
Anyway, one thing from POW, I definitely like no bullshit though. I do want to see like World's Finest versus the Empire of Pain. No like third team, just straight, no time limit, just a straight tag team match. Because we would make that instant classic.
Mm-hmm.
No pun intended.
I was gonna say something about that too. I wanted to do something with fucking World's Finest for the longest time. Fucking,
yeah, I do too. I want to put my foot
I still
in your
gotta
guys'
get
ass.
back at Cleopatra from fucking powerbomb me and fucking SYM low blowing me and shit.
Cleopatra, you talk about Hefe?
Yeah.
Oh shit, dude! You did not call him Cleopatra.
I did it before.
Dog, yo, he's gonna hear this. He's gonna hear this, right? And then Drascal's gonna hear this at his door.
I don't know if I told you guys this or not, but my aunt had a dog named Oliver. He was this little fluffy black dog. She took this dog everywhere, dude. I'm telling you, like, she goes to the store, this little motherfucker's going with her. And he was mean. Not to her, but she used to watch me a lot, because when my dad worked and my mom both worked, she would watch me and my brother and my sister. And this dog was so fucking mean. She would sit on the couch and go make me mac and cheese or some shit. And this little motherfucker would be like, trying to bite me and shit on the couch. So I'd always take the closest thing I had and I'd beat that motherfucker with it. I'd fucking slap the shit out of that dog.
Hell nah.
Fast forward fucking 16 years later, I still hate fucking Oliver. I mean, R.I.P. He passed away a couple days ago. But I mean, still.
You're talking shit about a dead dog? Oh, come on
that
now.
dog. That dog bit me so many times, dude. That was the first time I got bit by a dog.
Well, look, at least you're not beating the fuck out of a dog for no reason, but like other people.
But either way, my point being proven here, I hated that dog, and I hate you too, Oliver Knight. Motherfucker, you dropped me on my goddamn head.
With all that fucking muscle, you couldn't hold him? Goddamn.
Hell no.
He had me in a fucking package. Actually, that wasn't him.
That was
me. Mr. SYM who dropped me on my head. I'm drunk now. I don't know who dropped me on my head.
Well, damn,
I know one of y'all dropped me on my head.
That boy
He
said,
can't
"Who
see
hit
out
me?"
them eyes with all that squinting he be doing.
He said, "Who hit me?" and shit. Which one of y'all hit me?
I know one of y'all motherfuckers hit me.
But what do you want to see, Drascal, in the future of POW?
I just want to see fucking me and Wolfe go at it with the World's Finest. That was the first thing I was gonna say, just like Chris.
Okay. Well, what I want to see is I want to see some of our guys take off and really take the flag from us and take the baton from us.
Oh yeah, and then get some new guys on the mic too. I can't wait for that.
I think that goes without saying because at the end of the day, maybe some of us have been doing it longer than others, but the four of us are old men compared to some of these kids. Like at some point, we're gonna have to like take a step back and let them run with it.
Yeah,
it's just a matter of who's gonna step up and take that opportunity, seize it and elevate it.
Right.
Well, there is a third option where it can come back as sin.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Sin and Chaz the Spaz.
Yes.
Cletus, Skeeter, Sin, and Chaz the Spaz. The Empire of Poverty.
Jesus fucking Christ.
There's a new faction right there, folks. You heard it here.
Oh my goodness. I want to, but yeah, and even so, I've been really thinking about this, and this is something that's really going to blow up over this podcast. I think once I'm done editing POW and doing it, I want to give it to someone else, bro. I want to give it to someone else, and I have people in mind based off of what I've seen. And I want to let somebody else take over, and maybe we could just come back every now and then, and let's
Get the cheap pops, get the ratings up.
help out. Let's just help out. I don't want to be editing this forever. I want someone to take over and kind of oversee it. And I have people in mind, but I want this to last, bro, and I want this to be a platform for these people, for these young guys coming up, because there's a lot of bullshit in the world, a lot of negative shit in the world of CAW.
I want this to be their escape. I mean, if they want to have CAW and have that safe place and have that place where they can go away and run away from their fucking problems, I want that to be us. I mean that's what I want in life too. I want people to feel comfortable around me. I want people to be happy.
Right. And and the best part about us, I think we've done a great job in facilitating the concept of freedom, and a liberation. I mean, Chris, you said it best in your introduction I had you do of Reckoning. Power is about freedom and all this shit. Power is everything, bro. And I want to give these people the power. We've been preaching it, and it's true. Power is fucking everything. And I don't know. I want to empower these people, and give them a platform.
Yeah. We're giving practically everyone to the ability to express how they feel, tell us their storylines and what they want to do. But you also gotta think about it. Like, if we're also about having great matches, and if you're not having those great matches, we're gonna call you out on that shit. And it hurts us in the meantime, because we're trying to make you look good. But
we don't mean to, like, if we're talking to somebody and we tell you that we want you to step your shit up, it's not us being mean in any type of way, and I don't want that to get twisted.
We just want the best out of you.
Yes, we want you to tap into that inner you that we know that you have, and to be that best.
Absolutely. And you know what? I think we have a great crop of guys that are set up to be fucking phenomenal. They're set up for greatness as is. They're all creative. I mean, I support their ventures, like everything they're doing on the side. Warzone Wrestling, OT3, John Carter started like BYU, Tyler Still's doing BOW, Lennon Walsh, he's one of the most creative attire guys I've ever seen. He just did that attire of, what's his name, Chris, the movie you were just talking about. Brandon Lee, the Crow. Like, they're all so talented and creative. Justin, he's such a great people person. He connects with people. He gets them involved. All of them are really good people from top to bottom. I like all of them, and I love our crop of guys. And I wouldn't
trade our bunch for anyone.
No, and that's what I said. I wouldn't trade it for anybody. I wouldn't trade it for anything. But that's about it. That's all I got. You guys got anything to say? Any last words to say for this podcast?
I got two things to say. One, power is everything. Don't let nobody take it from you. And if you want something, it's yours to go out and get it. And if you want it, you need to earn it. It won't just be handed to you. And secondly, don't be a fan later. Be a fan now.
Oh God, this fucking guy wants to end the podcast with his catchphrase. Right? Jesus Christ! Right.
Take his
fucking guy.
Where's the meme at of Wolf fucking catchphrase and shit?
Oh my God! Yeah, it's Wolf, bitch. Oh geez, Rick, he really says bitch a lot.
And we're gonna go through all of your promos, and every time you say bitch, we're gonna put that.
We're gonna splice it together. It's Wolf.
Yo,
bitch.
if I had a swear jar, that motherfucker would be full.
Oh yeah, it would be.
So, and like, bro, that's just great. We gotta have like a Wolf counter for that shit. Every time he says that shit, 1, 2.
I'm
3.
telling you, I'm going to start making memes for the shit that happens in POW, bro. I swear it's going to happen.
Did I not talk about this before POW was even like really started? I said we should have a meme of the month. Drascal with a fucking microwave. We'll talk about 6 years.
Where's the fucking microwave? Yo,
I'm with the science team.
I'm with the science team. Like, dude.
I was just looking at
looking up at stars.
Oh, the
He
fucking
tried
butter
to put me down,
kebab.
but they couldn't.
The butter kebab and shit. The fat ass Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You know, it's so fun, bro. It's so fun.
Yo,
But,
still hit me up with that NSPW contract, son.
Same.
NSPW
Yeah,
isn't
me-
even. I don't think they're. Anyway, that's a podcast for another thing. But you know, that's a wrap. Thank you all for listening, sitting here through the 2.5 to 3 hours of this shit, of us just talking shit and shooting. We'll be back with more podcasts. This is probably what we're going to do for a while, you know, if our content's dry. So go ahead, like, subscribe. And if you're on Twitter hating, sick, mad, wiggity.
Bitch. Remember.
Oh, geez, Rick, he says bitch a lot. You got something to say, Chris? I thought you were going to say, and remember, don't be a fan now. Yeah, I thought you were going to say your goofy little. You know what? Fuck it. Happy 1 year anniversary.
You don't need. You don't remember. Remember, mates.
P.O.W.
You don't need a title to be a leader.
What?
No, nothing.
Hey, shut the fuck up, all right? Happy
that fucking microwave.
happy one. Happy.
I'll fucking. I'm gonna throw a microwave at myself. Fuck this damn podcast.
P.O.W.
Happy 1 year anniversary, POW. Thank you all for joining us.